so that starts at 7 a.m., which is really cool. 8 a.m. Eastern. Do you know about that?
Yeah, that's the time I'm actually heading for work and dropping Sophia at her summer school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure that.
When they start this week, right?
That started this week.
Yeah. I got 4 broadcasts of it. It's only 2 of them. What are you, East Coast? You're East Coast or Pacific?
Pacific.
You're behind us how many hours? I'm Central.
We're 2 hours apart. 5 over here. Usually? Yeah.
All right.
Hallelujah. Jesus.
Is there anything like karma? Have you ever heard about karma? Tonight is a discussion night. Welcome, this Bishop Idika Mary. I'm throwing things out there for you to participate in our conference. You can call in 515-739-1015 and the access code is 648-355.
Amen.
878 and the pound sign. Is there anything like karma? What do you understand by karma?
What I understand about karma is like what goes around comes around.
And what do you mean by that?
Like if you do bad to somebody, then that's gonna come to you.
Okay.
But
So that is what that's what you understand by karma.
I don't really, yeah, that's what I thought karma. That's what I thought karma was.
Okay. Somebody else?
Yep, same thing.
Same thing. What is something? So are you saying that karma is the Hindu, because this is coming from the Hindu tradition? Are you saying that karma is the Hindu word for what the Bible teaches? You reap what you sow. Is that karma? Is karma you reap what you sow?
Yeah.
All right. When you say yep, explain. Explain. Everyone has to, when you take an opinion, when you take a particular position, explain.
Well, there's a saying that one is known for their deeds. Okay, if one does bad deeds in their life, then that is what they're known for, which means that that's their reputation. Obviously, a bad person who does bad deeds will have a bad reputation, and that is the kind of stuff they leave behind. Okay, so they encounter bad things only. I've never seen a bad person encounter greatness, superior things, and flourish in life. No, I'm not. I'm yet to see that.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
All right.
You know?
I got it. Is there anybody else who are on the line tonight who understand what karma is? Please, can you speak up, because this is a discussion. This is not just everyone coming to learn from me, But can you participate at least tonight? Can you share? It doesn't matter whether, I mean, just share the little you know or the way you understand this word. Nobody. So nobody really know what karma is. All right.
Spelling of karma, maybe they spell it differently. Let's spell it for them, Bishop.
Okay, you spell it for them. Let's hear you.
Oh, Karma.
Okay, that is karma. Mary, do you know anything about this issue? Because we live in an age where people are so much interested in this kind of thoughts. What is karma? Do karma really work? Mary, do you know anything about this?
No, please.
Okay. Well, we have to go and look at the Hindu concept of life to understand what they mean by karma and see whether it has anything to do with what the kingdom of God teaches about life as a whole. So we want to look at karma strictly, not loosely, but strictly for what it is. You see, karma is rooted in the Hindus' concept of reincarnation. So that's why before you enter into or begin to use any word, make sure you understand the powers and the spirit behind that. What do the original owner of the word means by karma? You can never talk about karma without you being involved in the strong reality in that culture of reincarnation. I'm not talking of in Christianity. I'm talking of in the Hindu culture of karma. I'm not talking of trying to deal with it educationally or philosophically or try to give it an interpretation that suits you. We are talking of let's allow it, let's look at the originality of the texts, the originality of what the practitioners, the consultants, the brilliant ones, the ones who brought it about, what they meant. In all the Hindu texts, the Bhagavad Gitas, the Mahabharata, the Rig Vedas, all the works, let's look at it, all the works of Indian religion called Hinduism, what do they mean? You can never talk about karma without talking about reincarnation. What is reincarnation? Anybody? Because I want, after tonight, you will never make the mistake of looking at life from the perspective you've been looking at it. What is reincarnation? Anybody?
Rebirth.
Okay, rebirth. All right. Rebirth. Break it down for everybody to know. Break it down for everybody to know what you mean by rebirth.
Rebirth, like one soul has many forms and many lives. Yeah, that's what Hindus believe in.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't know how many lives they have.
so it means that people can, a particular individual can come to the earth several times after they are dead. So after people are dead, they can come back several times based on whether they did right or they did wrong, how they lived, how devoted they are, how spiritual they trained themselves, how much charity they did, how devoted they are to God and to a particular deity of choice, how good the person was as a wife, as a mother, as a lover, as a husband, how the person treated other people in his or her business, how you treated nature, the flowers, the butterflies, the monkeys, the cows, the elephants, the dogs, the cats, the fish in the water. So basically, it is a concept that pushes people to the extreme end of charity, devotion to a particular god or goddess, and entirely enslaved by that religion and what, in fact, it is the bedrock. Let me tell you something. Karma is the bedrock, is the foundation of Hindu's religion. You remove it, everything collapses. Why? Because for those who are sadhus, the holy men, whether the one who wear clothes or the one that walks naked, whether the one that lives in the villages or in the cities, or the one that lives by the mountain or in the forest, it does not matter. Whether the one that lives by the cremation ground or the ones that has an institution of their own, it does not matter. Karma, the concept of karma, which is rooted in reincarnation, is the foundation of the Hindus' way of life, of the Indian culture and society. You remove it, everything fall apart. Just as when you remove the 10 commandments and the 5 books written by or dictated, I use the word dictated, by Moses, from Genesis to Deuteronomy, those 5 books, you remove them, Judaism, the religion of Jewish people, fall apart. In Christianity, you remove the resurrection, Christianity falls apart, because that's the only thing in Christianity that holds it together. In Buddhism, you remove focus, awakened to be you. You remove that. The focus for you to be only you. There's no God or goddesses in Buddhism. None. The Buddha is used as an example. Focus and be you and be more. You remove that concept. It is also another big concept, which I have to tell you this. The biggest concept also that holds Buddhism together is focus on yourself to be good so that you can be born right. So reincarnation, karma, is also at the foundation of Buddhism. You remove it, everything falls apart. Why? Because Buddhism comes from Hinduism. Buddhism is part of Hinduism. It all is from India. Even though now Much of Buddhism is practiced in the mountains of Tibet, etc., and the surrounding countries there. But its root is back there in India. The Dalai Lama is, first of all, a student of the ascetic life of Hinduism. You have to know that. You cannot be a true Buddhist without practicing the strong concepts of Hinduism, of the Indian culture. Even though today we have different kinds of Buddhism, like Zen, there are different kinds of it in its contemporary and ascetical. When I mean by ascetical, I mean the hard forms of it, or the closely knitted devotional side of all these religions. Let's get straight to reincarnation. Hinduism and Buddhism believe in reincarnation. What is reincarnation? It is that a human being could be born several times based on their works. So that lays, there is nothing like a god or a goddess coming to the earth to die for a human being, to deliver human beings, and acquire them as God's own wealth. There's nothing like that. So that is number one thing that make it different from Christianity. Completely different. Our religion, Christianity, is not based on people being born several times. After death cometh the judgment. That's what the Bible says. So there's nothing like if you didn't do well this time, well, next time when you come back, either as a human being or as something else, I'm going to talk to you about that, then you will try and correct it. There's nothing like trying to correct it in our own religion, in Christianity. You see, the earth, you are given enough time to live long enough as to do the corrections here. Because after that, you cannot correct it. Why? It is appointed unto human to live one time on the earth, the school of the earth, and after that cometh the judgment. I am going also to discuss with you in subsequent broadcasts why ghost lingers. Who are the ghosts? I think I might have broadcasts I've done in the past about it, but I'm going to deal with it in a very bigger way. Who are the ghosts? Why are some houses haunted? And by the way, if you feel like where you live is a haunted house, call me, pay me, I will come and I'll get rid of whatever is there for you.
Yes, please.
Just purchase the service. And who is that? Who is saying yes, please?
It's all of you.
You can't pay me. You don't have money. Go and work and get money. We are not talking of sending me $100. That's what I'm talking about. Is not a joke.
Okay.
Yeah, go and work and get money. Or
Okay, I will.
or you go and get married to a very wealthy man and get me some big seed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just being fair. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Let me
Thank you
talk.
for the advice.
Let me talk like Malia. Malia will go, uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's right.
What happened? How much money is that?
I'm not gonna tell you. When you call, you'll be told. When you call for such services, you will be told. All right. So here begs the question: why do some people's life force, spiritual life force, linger even after they are gone? And I'm here to tell you two things happens. The devil or the demon that followed that person. Number one, a demon that is using are you serious? That somebody doesn't know that I'm having a service? Hold on. Hold on. Let the person call me again. I have explained to everybody on the broadcast for them to know when a broadcast is going on. Please, is the Ustream on for you, for those of you who are watching? Is the Ustream on?
Yes, amen.
Okay. Because I cannot tell who is calling me right now. All right, let's go on. Because I don't want to be distracted. Hold on, let me turn it off. There we go. There we go. All right, let's go. We are talking about how reincarnation is at the bedrock, is at the bottom of the Hindus and Buddhist concept of life. You see, they are very much concerned about the afterlife. The afterlife is a very important thing. And so, to be able to achieve the ecstasy of acceptance by the higher beings, or becoming a god or goddess yourself, or being lifted up into nirvana, or being lifted up to the high places of the planets, because that's where it is all this, that's where all this is playing out. And of course, the culture of reincarnation and karma comes from the dark planet. When we say dark planet, we do not mean a place occupied by dark colored people. No. We are talking about where, let's use the word, there are some negative and devilish celestial places, cosmic planets. There are planets out there that belongs to God, but occupied by fallen forces. God is not doing anything with a lot of planets. A lot of them, he created them for them to be used later. They are the agenda of God that are still, so God still have a lot of work to do. A lot of things to build, to create. That's why we have so many planets. Billions upon billions. That is God's work. So in order to become one with the gods and goddesses of choice and with the one and only, who they know owns everything. They have this belief in karma and reincarnation. So it makes the devotee of the religion to work hard at charity, to do all kinds of stuff, to try to be holy, or to try to be perfect, or to try to constantly enter into the supernatural. I'll give you an example. The holy men, like pastors and preachers, evangelists, prophets of their own, of Hinduism, they don't call it by this name. They call them sadhus, the babas, the gurus. Some of them walk naked through the streets of India or wherever. Others are clothed. Also, for those who are not monks of the religion, they are not the preachers and the strong activists of the religions. They perform the rituals. They perform all the ceremonies, observe all the holy days. Holy, I didn't say holidays, holy holidays of the religion. Why? Everything is done in order to make the constant rebirth not too many. I'll give you an example. A child is born lame, or born with a malaria, or born with one eye, partially deaf, born with somebody in the kitchen. You are in your kitchen. Please mute your phone. If you are with me tonight, mute your phone. If you are doing something else, please mute your phone. All right, listen carefully. If somebody is born deaf, blind, all kinds of natural deformity of a child, it is said that it has to do with how that child lived in the past. So in that religion, in Hinduism and Buddhism, it is believed that every human being, almost all, they've come here before. They have been on earth before. And then they are coming back to finish the work that they did not finish. The work of being good. So, goodness is a human act. Being righteous, to be accepted into where the gods and goddesses enjoy, is a human act. You have to work hard at it. I'll give you an example. A Hindu sadhu, a Hindu holy man that walk naked, that live and walk naked. He doesn't wear any clothes, because most of them are like that. Has been standing without sleeping for years. So if he sleeps, there is like a table, a high table that he sits to practice his religion. So he sleeps while he stands for years. These are done to achieve this kind of standard, so as not to keep coming back and forth. Because this is how the belief goes. If you didn't live right, you might come back as a monkey, a gorilla, an ape, a tiger. You might come back as an elephant. You might come back as a cow. That's why in Hinduism, cow is a sacred, is the easiest way that people come. One of the reasons why Hindus do not eat meat is because you don't know whether you are eating your mother or your brother or your sister. You have no idea that the cow that you're buying might be a reincarnation of your in-law or of your dead wife or dead husband. Excuse me, please. So you may not know. That's why they don't eat meat. Because you don't know who. That's why they don't take life.
Excuse me, your stream is offline.
My what?
Your stream is off.
It's back. I saw it. I've already put it back.
Thank you.
So you may not know who is that cow. That's why they don't. So karma, which is you reap what you sow. The lifestyle you live before is going to affect when you come back, the lifestyle you are going to live. I'm trying to explain it not in the academic jargons that I know. I'm trying to break it down into ABC for you to know what karma is. So the concept of reincarnation and karma tells you that you on your own, you struggle by yourself. Of course, you do go to pray to your chosen god or goddess to help you. But when it comes to salvation, they cannot give you salvation. When it comes to living rightly, they cannot give it to you. It is you that have to make it happen for yourself. If you want elevation, that's why those in those who are full-time practitioners of the religion, they give up everything in order to devote themselves to it. They give up just everything because it's very serious for them. And go and watch it on the internet and see how devoted they are. Why? Because they want to do good so that they can attain for the Buddhists nirvana, and for the Hindus attain to the life of the gods and not keep coming back and forth. Or you came forth as a human being, next time you are coming as a mosquito, or you are coming as a fly, or you are coming as... That's why they don't kill anything, because you never know who you are killing. So that is it. So the concept of Jesus' blood, the concept of a God coming to earth to save humanity, that's Jesus. I'm talking of a God with a capital G-O-D. Does not exist. Heaven, hell does not exist in those two religions, in Hinduism and Buddhism. Heaven and hell does not exist. Number two, one of the things I find problematic is that they have all these gods, like Shiva, like Krishna, can go on and on. So many gods in Hindu's religion. It has the highest numbers of gods and goddesses. that people worship, but you don't read the story of any of them giving his or her life for humanity. It doesn't exist. Of course, why will it exist when devils do not give themselves? And of course, they are not even allowed. They are not allowed to. And even if they were allowed to, their selfishness will not allow them to do it. Lucifer will never, neither any of his hosts, give their life for the sake of a human being. Why? Because even though human beings worship them, those who worship them do not know that what they are worshiping hates them. The first law of Lucifer is to hate human beings and to kill them where possible, or to do things that will result in their death. Why? Because hatred for humans is very big, because they say we took their place. They know that we are set up against them. So that's the reason why they also injected into human society false religions. So karma is not a Bible word. Karma is not a Jesus word. Karma is not a Jesus culture or tradition. Karma and reincarnation is not the word for strong supernatural beings like you and I. It is not. If it is karma, as you reap what you sow on earth, whether you're a Christian, a Jew, a Buddhist, a Hindu, all right. But I don't use the word. Because if I use it, I am speaking of classical Hinduism. Which means, if you believe in karma, you also believe in the coming back, reincarnation. Now, in Buddhism, it's different a little bit. In Buddhism, reincarnation does not necessarily mean coming back because you didn't live right. It talks about that you can still come back even though you did right. You can still come back. But in Hinduism, it's a little bit different. There are some differences there. Now, in the African religion, let's switch to African religion. I can pick up an academic discussion on these things to tell you the bigger differences, which doesn't make no sense to me, because that's not what I'm here to tell you, the ABC of it. In the African and the native or folk, F-O-L-K, folk cultures, that is native or traditional cultures of the earth, they also believe that people do come back. Either they come back because they like that family, they like that man and his wife, they want to come back and continue to help out. This is part of the belief of the Indians also, of the native Indians, native aboriginals, native forest and water people, native consultants of the stars and of the little deities of the sky realms. These are also the concept of real witchcraft, the real witchcraft, not the joking ones, not the ordinary occultism, the real thing. This is their belief too. You also come back because the gods and the goddesses sends you back here to carry out a program. Just be aware of what I'm telling you tonight. That's reincarnation. Do people reap what they sow? Yes, they do. Well, I'll tell you some things that you need to know. In some simple cultures out there, there have been kids who were born with birth marks. Some of those birth marks are not biological marks. They are not marks of biology, of science and technology. They are marks that are different. You cannot explain or interpret those marks. And sometimes kids, as they grow up, have been able to talk about where they lived before. I'm just letting you know that there are things that has happened. There are things out there. Everything is not just a myth. It's not just folklore or telltale. It's very easy in traditional religions of the earth, and in Buddhism especially. Traditional religions of the earth first, and in Buddhism second. That's where you see this kind of phenomena of children being born and they can remember exactly what that necklace stands for when it was bought. And they were not bought. Nobody has told them. You bring out clothes of somebody who died some years ago. So they will bring the clothes out, or the necklace, or the shoes. Mix them with the shoes or necklaces and outfits of other people, and ask the child to pick which one belonged to him or her. And that child will pick exactly the ones that the person who is supposed to possess him or her wore. Let's go. This has been known things. And then people forget that there are what we call family spirits, which are, in simple terms, familiar spirits. They are spirits of darkness that is familiar with your ways, that are familiar with the ways of your father and mother, that come to repeat a pattern, that can take over you, that can resemble you, that can speak exactly like you speak, that can have your marks, that knows your bank account number, all your phone numbers, they have it. They are familiar spirits that are sent to do just that. And then they tend to represent you or replicate you. There are things like that. I also want you to be aware that there are energies that, for example, somebody was murdered in a particular place. The spirit of a murderer will not cease in that place until it is cast out from that place. Because where evil or where good has happened, power is generated. A particular force is generated in that place. That's why if you've had a divorce before, don't rush into any marriage. Don't rush. Never. Until you've dealt with the negative forces that have been attracted and retained by your injury. If you've had an accident, deal with the forces that has been generated by that accident and the toil and suffer and pain. Because you see, evil things attract evil powers into a particular place where it happens. That's how this thing goes. And as you give birth to children, those forces begin to claim them. So that's why when something bad happens, it has to be dealt with quickly. When something good happens, it has to be accepted quickly. Those of you who spend time to think about things before you start dancing and shouting and appreciation, you're doing yourself more harm. Because the reality is that immediately a good thing happens, you should be rejoicing and shouting, and you should ask God for more. Do people reap what they sow? Yes, ancient people knew that. So that's why there is a path of karma. That is, you reap what you sow. It's common. In all cultures have that. There is no culture on earth that does not have that as part of their morality. It's not a new concept. It's an old concept. So what we call classical karma, of you reap what you sow, is very ancient. It's not even karma. The Bible talks about it. You cannot plant corn and go to harvest cucumber. Why? Satan also knows about the laws that God has put on the earth. And part of that law is, whatsoever a man soweth, that he or she will reap. And the devil knows this. I'm not trying to attribute everything in other cultures, in other religions to Satan. I'm not. Because people in ancient times also observed these laws. They observed the laws of the stars. When so and so star appears, it means a king has been born. That's how the three magi knew that a king has been born, and they started following the star. We are not told that the Holy Ghost told them about the star. We are not told that angels told them about the star. They just knew. Because they were professionals in these things. So I'm here to ask you, do you want to live life on your own? Do you want to do it on your own? Then you can follow reincarnation and karma. Do you want to follow Jesus? Then following Jesus has nothing to do with karma and reincarnation. I mean, when you use the word karma as people's reap what they sow, that's understandable. That's the world today has also embraced that. Just like we have embraced happiness for joy, luck for favor, so also people uses the word karma for you reap what you sow, which is in every culture. So when you use it that way, that's understandable. But the Hindus people will say, For us, it means more. Now, there is only one person that has power over life and death. And that is the God of Abraham. That's Jesus. That's the Holy Ghost. You see, when it comes to creating life, I'm now going into the nitty-gritty of the thing. When it comes to creating life, and where spirits go after their life journey has come to an end, that these two journeys, coming into the world and leaving the world, these two journeys are what we call the prerogative of God. They are not subject to Satan. Satan doesn't have any hand in creating. He cannot create. He's not allowed to create. Now, let me explain something here so that you will understand this very well. That does not mean that if you go to Lucifer and his followers and to say Hinduism and Buddhists and traditional cultures, and you ask for magic to be performed or a ritual whereby you sacrifice a human or animals for demons as a form of worship. Sacrifice is a form of worship. When you do that, they will now do something for you. It means that either the thing that they themselves blocked, a child you were looking for, they block it. See, let me share something here. Devils can block you with poverty. They can block you with different kinds of weaknesses and addictions. They can afflict you with those things. They can afflict you with poverty. They can afflict you with accident. They can afflict you with lack of employment, joblessness, barrenness. You cannot bear children. Or as a man, you cannot, your semen does not contain the force of life to make babies. Or as a woman, you have fibroid that disorganizes it. Or your womb cannot carry a child. They can create so many problems for you and can fight your prayers so that, in fact, they will fight worship. They will fight everything in your life. Fight your business so that you can come to them to ask for help. And then they think that God has originally released to you the money, the job that God originally sent to you, which they captured or they blocked. They now give it to you. And you now think that it came out of that magic. It came because for several years, everything that belonged to you, they kept it, they sabotaged it, and kept it for themselves, waiting for you to get frustrated about worshiping Jesus, about worshiping God the Father. And then you start accusing God the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost of not answering your prayers, so that you can now go to them to ask for help, and they will give you what God already gave you that they were keeping against you. That's how they do it. And then when they give it to you, they now extract out of you, they now have legal authority to take your favor, to take the best that you have, the best of your luck, and they can sell it to whoever, or they can keep it in case you rebel against them, and it's easy for them to reverse stuff. So in reality, they are not giving you anything that is of theirs. They are giving you your own thing, or they are giving you back the thing that belonged to your family that they kept. That's why your father was broke, your mother was broke. They didn't go to devils to ask, and they died broke. And now you went to them to ask for help, and now they gave you back the thing that belonged to your mother, and you think that they gave you a new thing. See, these guys are very smart. They are far ahead of humans. And that is why people need to follow Jesus and to sit on the throne with him, so that you cannot be deceived. Do people come back to the earth? That's the question. Could Satan or could gods and goddesses of darkness give people children? They are not allowed to. But since their job is to destroy the works of God, let me share this, and you need to hear it. Devils have crossed all boundaries that spirits, high spirits, are not supposed to cross. Number one, they are not supposed to sleep with males, human males or human females. And they've done that. Homosexuality and lesbianism were also practiced by ancient gods and goddesses of darkness. So I'm not surprised that it's on. Lesbianism, homosexuality, they were all practiced by the world of darkness. Deities, forces of darkness came to it and practiced this with humans. Has devils slept with women, on real physical women physically? Yes, they have. Can fallen angels turn themselves into human beings to sleep with human women? Yes, they have done that. It's there in the story of Noah. It was the reason why God decided to wipe the earth, to clean the earth from that filth. And that is why it's not even only through sexual encounters in dream, but physically too. This is the reason why when people start to consult the world of the occult, they get themselves into a total mess and bondage that more often than not, they cannot take them. They don't know how to remove themselves from it or how to get away from it. And somebody else who understands that realm, like I do, need to get them delivered. Because you are dealing with when the seed of darkness comes into a human, just think of how wicked that person is. For example, people like ISIS, like or Al Qaeda, or like the Nazi Germans, or any ruler of the earth, or leaders of the earth, who have killed their own people or led the entire world to war. Just think about how many devils are occupying that person, telling that person what to do. Just think about it. A leader of a nation could be a very quiet man, gentle man, or could be a violent person, an aggressive person, and that does not mean that they are not ruled by the same and one devil. Doesn't matter. So that begs the question: is Trump ruled by the Holy Ghost? I can tell you right here and now, no. Was Obama ruled by the Holy Ghost? I can tell you here and now, no. Was Bill Clinton ruled by the Holy Ghost? I can tell you here and now, no. There are reasons why I say so. Was Bush government ruled by the Holy Ghost? I can tell you here and now, no. We can go on and on and on and on. A real child of God has never come on the throne of America. The world of darkness fight very hard to make sure that they don't have a real child of God on the throne. Because if a real child of God comes on the throne, things will change very quickly. Greed will not allow it. Because this country is founded on greed. So number one, for us Christians, we don't practice reincarnation and we don't believe in it. It doesn't work for us. It's not the Bible culture. Do ghosts of people come back? Yes and no. Yes and no. When we say ghosts, we talk about spirits. Can people in heaven be allowed by God to come to the earth to talk to humans on the earth? Yes. But what about the dead in hell? Can the devil make them appear on the earth? No. Who then appear in their form? Devils. Can devils appear in human forms? Yes. Can demons appear in human forms? Yes. But only as spirit. Only as spirit. Because demons are not allowed bodies. So they cannot appear as a real human being that you see walking on the street. Only fallen angels and real angels can do that. Only fallen angels and real angels can appear as a human, can appear in human forms and look like us humans. But demons cannot. You can see their apparitions, their shadows, but they cannot have a body. That is why only demons enter into people. Why do demons seek a human being to possess? It's so that they can carry their activities with a human physical body. Because they are not allowed to grow bodies. They are not allowed to operate as bodies because they are very wicked. They are already wicked as spirits. Talk less of if they had bodies, what they would do. Because their hatred for God is very high. See, their loyalty to Lucifer is total. And that is why Lucifer allowed demons to be worshipped as gods and goddesses. That is why the first definition of witchcraft is worship of demons. Why? Because that is the reward Lucifer and the fallen angels gave to them for their loyalty, absolute and total loyalty to Lucifer. That's why he allows them to be worshipped. Humans to worship them. And indirectly, every worship of demons is a worship of Queen of the Coast, is a worship of Baal, the son of Lucifer, and is also the worship of Lucifer himself. Why? Because demons are slaves to fallen angels and to humans. They will only carry out what humans ask them to carry out. That's humans who has them, women who are their bosses. And I'm also going to tell you another thing that will shock you. Fallen angels and demons are also used by God to carry out evils. When God does not want to invest his own warfare angels to go and do evil, to go for destruction and for death, he now calls them. And I'm letting you know. You doubt what I'm going to see, how God called a meeting in heaven during the time of Job. Go and look at it. Or look at how Ahab died and the meeting that was held in heaven against him. All it takes is one person to go to heaven and ask for a meeting concerning somebody here on earth, and the person goes. And normally, who comes to organize the death of a leader is always somebody from the fallen angels circle or from the demons. God gives them permission to go and do it. Why? Because they love to kill. They love to kill humans. Why? They hate humans. So let me also share what they do. They use humans and turn around against humans. That's what they do. And that is why in hell, when you see those demons and when you see those fallen angels, they behave like they've never seen you or they've never known you. And if you complain, they beat you. If you complain, they ask you to shut up. That you should have known better. If you ask them why they use you and did not allow you to go to God, they will tell you that you made that choice. They made you an offer and you accepted that you had the right to say no. And that is true. See, they are very smart legally because they know that there is a court system. And they do not want to violate that court system. There was, I only made a suggestion to you and you accepted it. I didn't ask you to buy it. I just make you a suggestion and you accepted it. That's it. That's what they will say. And that's what they always say. I never made you do it. I sold you something. I told you, do you want it? You say yes. And they made you do it, but that is their brilliancy. They think they are very smart. Now let me tell you something. The sins in heaven could be allowed by God. For example, say you're born again, spirit-filled father and mother, could be allowed by God to come as spirit into your dreams or to appear to you physically. Yeah, that happens all the time. My life is an open life to people in heaven to visit me at any time. Jesus' life was an open life. We saw Elijah and Moses appear to him. Yeah, on the Mount of Transfiguration. So I want you to understand. I mean, while somebody like Samuel was waiting for Jesus to come in paradise, when Samuel died, a witch, he didn't say a saint, he didn't say a woman of God, a man of God, he says a witch. Go and read the book of Samuel. A witch, Saul, the first king of Israel, who disrespected Samuel, now had an evil spirit on him, was wanting to kill David because David carried the spirit of Samuel. If you didn't know it, I want you to know it now. Whose spirit did David inherit? And I knew the answer all along. It was the spirit of Samuel, the prophet. And that is why the spirit of a prophet ran in David, was in David. Why? Because he carried the spirit of Samuel. Elisha carried the spirit of Elijah. Whose spirit are you carrying? John the Baptist also inherited the lifestyle and the spirit and influences of Elijah. And that's why the Bible speaks of him in parable as the Elijah that was to come. It didn't talk about the Elijah was coming back. It was talking about somebody who carries his spirit, and that was John the Baptist. And Jesus explained it. Today, preachers are still saying it, that Elijah is to come and so on, that Jesus says so, and they failed to read that Jesus said he had already come, and it is the one that I'm talking about, John the Baptist. Because his behavior, his everything was like Elijah. Look at the behavior of David. It was like the life of Samuel. Yeah. Who inherited the spirit of Abraham? Isaac. Who inherited the spirit of Isaac? Jacob. And who inherited the spirit of Jacob? Joseph. You see somebody like Ruth. Ruth inherited the spirit of Naomi. Hallelujah. See, when you talk about reincarnation, you are going to talk about whose spirit are you inheriting. So as to keep coming back to live among your people. I'm talking of reincarnation and karma from the point of Buddhism and Hinduism and mixing both of them. We are not in a classroom. We are discussing these things. So as to be aware of what we are saying when people use those words, as to be aware of what we are doing when we want to participate in some of the religion that we don't really know the foundation of what it is. For you to have a sense or have a dream of the city where you used to live and so on and so forth, does it mean that you used to live in that city? Yes or no? It's yes and no. Where do human beings come from? Reincarnation and karma calls into question, where do humans come from? Human beings come from heaven. No human being knows where they were before they came into the earth. None. So then, if you did not know where you were before you came to the earth, why then do you think that you are going to be reincarnating when you didn't even know about reincarnation before you were born? You were only told about reincarnation after you were born. Let me tell you, a witch could call up the real spirit of someone. I do not believe that it was the familiar spirit that follows Samuel, because Samuel didn't have any familiar spirit following him. He was a totally clean man of God, servant of God, a prophet of God. So it will be very unheard of for devils to try to do anything with him. Let me share this with you. If you are a child of God, spirit-filled, born again, nobody can call up your spirit. Yeah, nobody can call. Yeah, nobody can call up your spirit with a conjuring pot, with water in a pot, or go to the river and call you out. Because if you really want to see ghost in action, go and look at water. Water is one of the strongest thing on the earth is water. That's why when people drown in a particular place, when people drown, died in a swimming pool, and so on, that place need to be ritually made clean. If not, some other person would die there. And then, not only that, the familiar spirit, if the person that drowned was not born again, the familiar spirit that rules that person and that person's family will remain there, will come to carry out activities in that place, and you will begin to see ghosts in that surrounding. Whether you like it or not, you start seeing ghosts. You start seeing apparitions. You start seeing the effect. You start seeing the effect of unhappiness. Something starts to possess people. That's why one shot from a gun that kills somebody can result in the entire country going into warfare. Everybody lose their head. People will open the ground and throw living people, begging for their life. They will all bury them alive. Why? Because everyone is possessed by something that is not them. I'm serious. Something bad happened to somebody. It has not been dealt with. One day that person is so possessed by that thing, that evil that has happened, that he just murder his wife, murder his kids, murder himself, and kill himself. I'm just letting you know about these things. If you're a child of God, you are not coming back here. You cannot be reincarnated. If you are from Jesus, if you are from the Holy Ghost, if you are from God, you cannot reincarnate. You are not coming back here to pay for your karma. No. You are heading straight. Before Jesus came, all these things everybody had their days and were just ruling the world and doing whatever they wanted. But when Jesus came, everything changed. Two directions: heaven, hell. Simple. Those who are born again, you can't even see their ghost, but you can see their influence. They can always come from heaven to deal with stuff. Because people in heaven are very hardworking people. They are not sitting down there singing praise and glory to God. If that's what you think, if that is why you go and join the choir of your church, because you are going to be singing for God in heaven, you're wasting your time. If you join the choir of your church, because in heaven you are going to be singing for God, and that is the only greatest job on earth, then you're wasting your time. Because your destiny, which is the job that you were supposed to do and become a rich person and very influential person on the earth, you failed to use it. You are going back to discover your gift. Heaven is where you go to discover your gift and your talent that you failed to use in heaven. And of course, I have told God that I should be one of those that will be given a big iron rod to flog people from the earth who are returning back, with their talents. Those who are coming back to heaven with their talent, I should be among those given that big cane to whoop their bare butt. You are not going to be allowed to wear pants. Your bare butt, I'm going to whoop it really hard to whoop some sense into you.
Right there.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna whoop it and leave some whelp on your butt so that I'm going to leave I'm going to leave a mark so that mark will turn into your star. Finally, since you didn't want any star on the earth, you're gonna get one in heaven. I'm gonna leave wound on your bare butt. I'm gonna whoop it real good until, even if you don't have no buttocks, all you have is some bones there. I'm gonna whoop it until it will rise up like a dough. It will rise up like flour that they have planted years ago. I'm gonna whoop it hard so that you don't forget the whooping. Never. When I lay the whooping, you will see stars flying out of your eyes and ears. You will know. And at that point, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free from the whooping rod of Idikai Mary. Because a lot of people just want to go to heaven. A lot of people just want to go to heaven to go and relax. Who tells you that you go to heaven to relax? When did you start hearing that? Even the angels are not relaxing. They are at their various jobs. Everybody is at their job. And you want to go to heaven to go and sing for God. Are you serious? You think he doesn't have enough singers already? You want to go and be the next Michael Jackson singing Thriller to God. Thriller, Jesus, Jesus, Thriller, la, la. Oh no, you are not going to do that. Sorry. We don't need you here. Where is my talent? What did you do with my talent? Oh, I was so afraid. This Obama was a bad president. It was this Trump. He's a thief. Yeah. You start giving the excuse, say we don't accept no excuse. Where is the talent? What did you do with it? Oh, I came back with it. Oh, now you knew that you were supposed to have been a lawyer? Do you see how many people, millions of people that you will have delivered as a lawyer or as a judge? See? Are you seeing them? In heaven, you start seeing the television of people that through you, they would have not gone to prison. See, you will have been a police officer to change the police department. See that? I didn't know that. Did you ask the Holy Spirit to help you discover your gift and talent? I heard it, the guy Mary saying it. On July 14 morning, I heard it. I said, did you do something about it? Start behaving like a child that went and did wrong. Did what the parents said that he should do. Okay, go to the other room. Let them go and an angel will be told, give that guy a VIP treatment. And when you come inside there, you realize that it's the guy Mary with a wing, about to give you the biggest flogging of your life. Because God will allow me to flog you because I am the one who was begging you. You didn't listen. Now it's flogging time. I cannot flog you on earth so that they will not put me in jail. But in heaven, yeah. They would, yeah. And then when I flog you, you cannot call me the B word. You cannot call me nothing. You cannot curse me out because it's not allowed. And of course, you have to be thankful to God at least you escape hell. But that does not mean that you are not going to be flogged. You escape from hell, but that does not mean that you've escaped from the beating, from the flogging that is about to come. Because at least for the first time, somebody needs to flog you so that you can have a little, you can feel it. Yeah. So we don't have any reincarnation. We don't have no classical. Yeah.
So sad. After the flogging.
Yeah.
After being flogged, it's so sad.
Yeah. We don't have any karma of that you are going to come. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like because you didn't finish the job. You did not finish what you were supposed to do. You didn't do things well. You were lazy, you were procrastinating, you didn't treat your wife well, you didn't treat your children. So you have to come back and marry again and try to do it right. Okay? Because if it was all you reap what you sow, you see, that is where there is a twist in that religion, in Buddhism and in Hinduism. There is a twist there that I don't enjoy. If you didn't treat people well and you killed a lot of people, why should you even come back as a monkey? Why should you even come back as a cow? Or even as a mosquito? You are not worthy of being given life at all. Because you took so many lives. So that's where there are problems there. So people reaping what they sow on earth. Yes, I agree. I do not want until people go to heaven or hell for them to reap the evil that they've sown or the good they've sown. I want people, their punishment, hell, should begin here on the earth. And of course, if you did wrong in Baltimore, everybody who knew you did wrong in Baltimore should see you being punished in Baltimore. Not when you run to DC where people do not know you. And you go there and get your punishment, your hell there. I am one of those that really have been praying to God that every evil should be dealt with here. Then whatever is gonna be dealt with in heaven and in hell is just this. It's just this. I want to see a part of it being administered here to people. When people do you wrong, I want to see the game done right here. Why should an evil person that has caused you and your family so much evil be allowed to live to enjoy life? Why? Why should they be alive to be disturbing everybody? Shouldn't they be punished? Shouldn't, if we use the word karma as you reap what you sow, should they not reap what they sow on the earth? And by the way, why should they live for so long? What do you guys think? Shouldn't that be the right thing? Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the best thing.
Tenfold.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people should reap. They should reap what they. Yeah, they should. And if we did good, should we not begin to enjoy heaven on the earth? Yeah. Yeah. Just like hot chocolate. You know the group called Hot Chocolate. The bald black guy from England and his group. They called themselves Hot Chocolate in the 80s. They sang the music, You Sexy Thing, and all of that. He sang that heaven is the back of his car. Because his car is so cushy, so nice, so beautiful. Everything is in it. Say heaven is there. Shouldn't you start to enjoy driving the best luxury car on earth? I want to enjoy what is on earth. First, my heaven starts today. My heaven starts now. My heaven starts on the earth. I don't want until I go, I don't want until I go to heaven before I go to wear nice jewelry, nice shoes, drive the best car, live in luxury houses. I want mine here. The mansion Jesus is talking about, in my father's house are many mansions. Jesus, I've told Jesus, I said, Jesus, that is you. This is Sidika Mary talking to you about the mansion that you own in heaven. I need my own here first. Because that makes some people to be lazy and wait to go and inherit a mansion that they didn't qualify for. And of course, many people will not live in a mansion in heaven anywhere. If all they did was they got born again, they didn't do anything after that with their talents, why should they go and live in a mansion? Why should they not be our servants in heaven? So I have been talking to heaven. I said, look, you guys can talk about how good and merciful. I don't want no mercy and all this grace there. I don't want it. If people didn't work for something, they shouldn't be entitled to live in a mansion. In fact, they should be allowed to sleep on the street. And I do not want any homeless shelter for anybody in heaven. Those who do not qualify for a mansion should sleep on the street of heaven. In fact, they should sleep outside the gate of heaven. Of course, it's still heaven anywhere, but they should sleep outside the gate. That's where they should build some shacks for them so that they learn better. Are they supposed to come back here and fulfill their destiny and do good things with their lives? I don't want them back here because they've already given us too much trouble. And at the end, when they were dying, they called on Jesus to save them. Why do you think that people should be allowed back here on the earth? They've already caused too much harm, too much trouble. So why should they be allowed here? I don't want, let me tell you personally, I don't want anybody coming back here. Except you are coming to give me information and tell me how to do things and then you go back. That's okay with me. Like they came to talk to Jesus, Moses and Elijah. That's good with me. But to bring me back to come and live here on the earth? Do you know how many, do you know how much problem I have to put up with on earth? Of all planets, this is the most difficult place to exist. And you want to come back again. Are you serious? You must be out of your mind. After all the high blood pressure and cancer and problem people have given to you, you want to come back with all the gems and John waiting for you. Gems and John, I mean gems, the real gem, GERM, and instead of bacteria, I say John. Viruses, so I just call them short form for sickness, James and John. That's what I call them. You know, with rats and Reuben running everywhere. You know, pest. Reuben is roaches. That's I have a nice name for those things. With rats and Reuben. And you want to come back to the earth. Say seriously. So, do people reap what they sow? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And when people do you wrong, and you wait for some time, they do not reap what they have sown, it is your place to enforce it. It is your place to ask heaven to enforce the reaping of what that person has sown. Somebody was talking about how the so-and-so thing happened, they are the best, da la 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 la. That person was talking and was making some noise against me. That was many years ago. I said, really? All right, they have arrived and they live in America and blah, 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 blah. I said, okay. I went to God, I said, I want you to teach that family a lesson. Many of you from New York may not understand this. I say, well, spare the good and deal with the evil. I said to God, I want you to send something down there that will make them not to have a home. Let them see how it feels like not to have a home. And it happened. It is you who will tell God to enforce those laws, and he will enforce them. Now, is there anybody who has a question about karma? Remember that is how Hinduism and Buddhism, they speak about people reaping what they sow. Do people reap what they sow? Yes, they do. Do sometimes people reap what they sow late? Yes, they do. Are you supposed to enjoy a good harvest before you leave this earth? Yes, you should. Should wicked people reap what they sow right here on the earth? Yes, they should. Yes, they should. So is there anybody with a question? Anybody with a question?
Jesus coming back, Jesus being born again, and being born on earth, is it the kind of reincarnation thing?
No, my dear. Thank you for raising that question. See why I really love you very much is that you are very, very brilliant. That you are able to raise this. Jesus was not on earth as a human being before. Jesus has never been on earth as human. He has been coming here as God, spirit, even in bodily form. But he has never been here as a human being, everyday, what we call everyday human being like you and I. Never. So his own, we call it incarnation, not re. His own is I-N. The other one is R-E. Re-enter. In, enter. One time.
Okay.
See, that one is re-enter, which means they've been here before. That's why reincarnate. They reincarnated. They came back. This one is incarnation of the Son of God. Just coming one time. And that's it. Being born one time. The other one many times. So that's the difference. And he didn't come because he has to come. He came to do what he came to do because of us, to acquire us as God's new wealth. We are God's new money. If you ask God to show his visitors his wealth, he will point to us first. He will point to human beings first. So Jesus acquired us for his Father. Everything that Jesus does is for the Father. That's very powerful. Not even for himself. And that is why the Father gave him back everything. Because he gave everything to the Father. That should teach us a lesson. You give everything back to the Father now take what you've given to him and give it to Jesus to hold for you because he's the custodian. There you go. I am the door. What do you think is behind the door? Every good thing of God. That's why he said he's the door. By me, if any man should enter, he will go in and out and find shelter. You go in and out and find the best. So that's the difference, because people keep saying Jesus reincarnated and all this stuff. Or that when people see Jesus come to earth to perform miracles, to give directions and all of that, they say, is that not reincarnation? No, 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 no. Because he's not been born through a woman the second time. We born again Christians are not allowed to be born by a woman the second time. Why? Because we have the original birth. The original birth has happened to us. The birth that we were supposed to have originally has been given to us supernaturally through the Son of God. And just as the Son of God came in here one time, so, and died and was resurrected, that is also how we are with him. So we do not keep coming back to be born by a woman. We do not keep coming back to be fathered by a man. But the other religion believe that that is what happens to them. That's how it is. Okay. Is there somebody else that has a question concerning reincarnation and karma? You are going to ask me, do the forces of darkness give people children? I've explained that. How that happens. They know what you want more, and so they block it. You pray to God about it, they block it, waiting for you to come to them, to come and get what already God has given to you. That's why your job is to attack them. As an occupying force, occupying army, you attack them and tell them to give up what belongs to you. You doubt what I'm telling you? Listen to this. Daniel prayed for several days, waiting for an answer. But the very first day he prayed, the answer was granted. But some principalities up there held back the answer, held back the angel that was bringing it. They stopped him from coming. Until Michael came, personally, because you are dealing with principality. Every angels are not the same. Every level you reach, you should ask God to change your angel, to send you a new angel that is equal to the task that you are into now. I'm serious about what I'm saying. A common angel assigned to you is not going to compete with the principalities assigned to your territory. So you need a principality to work with you. You need an angel from heaven that is a principality, that is a prince. You don't need a common angel. Many of us, maybe that's the problem. We should be asking God for a prince. A bigger one that is equal to those ones. Because it was not just common angels that fell out of grace. There were also big angels that fell. Like Bel, Queen of the Coast, those are big principalities that fell. Deaf and dumb spirit that causes all kind of mental problem, schizophrenia, deafness, dumbness, blindness, all kind of stuff. Those are all big principalities. The destroyer, the one that rules over natural disaster like flood, earthquakes, hurricane, tornadoes, that's called the destroyer. The one with the red eyes. I've seen him. I'm not telling you what I've not seen. I've seen the destroyer face to face. And I told him, you cannot cross here. People were just warning me and telling me, why are you going out under this kind of fast wind? It was tearing down houses in Wichita a few years ago. I went outside and I said, you cannot cross where I am staying. The house where I was staying, I was ministering to somebody in Eastern Europe, and suddenly a fast wind came through my city. You can hear the siren everywhere for people to go to the basement or run to go and hide somewhere where, because it was blowing down houses, trees, and all of that. I think I have the video. They broadcast the video of it. I showed places where it turned. It's there in one of my videos. It's there. It's a video that I make to show you guys the damages that it did. It broke down fences, it broke down houses, just a lot of stuff. And I told the person, I'll call you back later, there's something happening in our city. And I turned the camera off. I went outside. I mean, in a second, heavy rain was on in a second. Wind, trees were falling, heavy trees were being pulled out. I went outside. There is a tree by my window, by the window of my bedroom. And I went outside and I looked and I saw the thing standing right there. It's trying to cross through the tree and pull down, tear down the house and move to the other side. And I came out and I looked at him. I didn't even say the name of Jesus. I just looked at him and I said, listen, you cannot pass through that tree. No matter how you try, I live here and you are under me. Next thing I knew, he broke 2 branches from the tree, the biggest branches, he broke it, and then he went over the house, tore down the fence of the neighbors, crossed the neighbor's fence, broke down the kitchen of a Latina family, broke the entire kitchen down, and then passed on. And people say, why didn't it tear down your own house? I say, well, I wanted you guys to see the exercise of power. That's what we call the exercise of power and command. When evil is happening, that is when you are to exercise power and command, not when you are to, and then you are rushing looking for somebody to call to pray for you. That is when you should stand your ground and say, you cannot hurt me. Because it is in such a thing that you know. It's just like we have earthquake here in Wichita, Kansas. And I've told God, there can never be a major earthquake in the city as long as I live here. Maybe if I move out of here, a major earthquake can happen. I've lived in a city here in America. 2 weeks before I left, something told me they are going to have a major hurricane and there will be power outlet for 2 weeks. And people were packing my stuff for me to move to California. I left. 3 days later after I left, a major hurricane came to the city. I have been in that city all along. About 2 or 3 years, no hurricane. 3 days after I left, I asked the hurricane to break down jail, break down the police station, break down. I gave it places that it should break and it broke down all those places. People were celebrating, drinking beer and barbecuing because there was no electric light. So their meat would get spoiled. So people were barbecuing and inviting their neighbors to come and eat as much as possible. And the house where I and my kid's mother, we lived when we moved down from Wisconsin, where we live, and the people gave us hell. I left that house. When we left that house, when I was leaving that city, I lifted my hand and I pointed at the house. I told that house, you will be sold and you will be pulled down. And the African idiot that gave me a lot of hell, I told him he's not going to live. That's what I said. The man died. Long time ago, he died. And his wife fled for her life. The children all scattered. Me tell you, you only allow people to deal with you if that's what you want. You begin to react back. People, let me tell you what I told, was it Diane that I told today? I said, listen, people are not going to respect you for your holiness, your righteousness, your charity work. People are going to respect you for your aggressiveness because they know that you know that they cannot use you or do you harm without you fighting back.
Okay, can you come back now?
What is that? Okay, let's continue. So that's just what I want you to know tonight. Karma, if it is the world way of saying people reap what they sow, that's true. Reincarnation, or karma as a result of reincarnation, or reincarnation as a result of karma. Do people reap what they sow so that they are reincarnated into different forms of life? Well, no, that's not for us. Well, I will put it this way. People are incarnated, but they are not reincarnated. Please write that down. Since the days of Jesus till now, Humans are incarnated and they cannot reincarnate. They cannot. That's how it is. Let me also explain reason why people are born with a knowledge of what we may call past lives or with marks. Familiar spirit knows everything about humans. And so when a child is to be born, especially a family that is involved in the world of darkness or people who belong to these other religions, right from when a child is in the womb, that child could be possessed by a familiar spirit. That child could be possessed by demons. I want you to be aware of this. Or shortly before that child is born, or while that child is being formed in the womb, that child could become possessed. It's very easy. And so that child is born with a demon that knows all these things. There you go. Just as the Holy Spirit could possess a baby right from the womb, so that John the Baptist in the womb saw Jesus in the womb of Mary. And then John began to make moves, like John was saluting his commanding officer, Jesus, in the belly of Mary. So, babies, so let me share this with you. Two women who are pregnant, their kids are talking to each other. I hope you know that. Mary, are you aware of that? Malia, Victoria, are you aware of what this?
Yep. You know?
If two women who are pregnant are in the same place, their babies are talking to each other. That's why I advise women, when they are pregnant, not to allow themselves to go into any quarrel with any man or with any woman. Don't go. When you start having problem with your husband or wife, all this kind of stuff going on, when a woman is pregnant, it's a very dangerous thing because the baby is listening. I'm serious, the baby is listening. And that quarrel could reach a point where the baby in the belly began to ask God not to allow him or her to come to the earth. That's also some of the reasons that some women have miscarriages and so on, because the baby decide not to come. Because that baby hears all the quarrel and everything going on. And you think that is where that baby is coming? No. Some do not want to be born into poverty. I'm serious. Some babies do not want to be born into this world because of sickness and poverty. They see it. They hear it. They see the mother and father suffering while they're in the belly and they want to go back. I was like that. I wanted to go back. So I want you to understand why all these things happen. So all of it is not witchcraft. So that's why when you are pregnant, you are supposed to be the happiest person on the earth. Not allow anybody to come and be putting trouble on you. The video we are going to do tonight, the broadcast we've done tonight, we will allow it there for a few days, then we'll get it removed. All the videos you see we have there, Mary, I want you to go through the videos that we have had the last 2 weeks. The one that is more than 30 minutes, the one that are 1 hour, you tell me, I'm going to start getting them off the internet for production. Because the ones that should be the internet should be the one that is 10 to 30 minutes. If they are more than that, we're going to get rid of them. We're going to remove them. People don't watch long broadcasts. So we're going to make people pay for it. That's it. If people want it, they're going to pay for it. Yep. If they don't buy them, we archive them for the next generation to buy. That's just the way it's going to go. All right. This is a pretty heavy stuff tonight. You now know what reincarnation is. You now know what karma is. You now know what it is. Heaven is not a closed place. Also, let me share this with you. I have to be very truthful and not be biased. Hell Hell is not a closed world, neither is heaven a closed world. That's why you can invite demons and fallen angels from hell into the earth, and they will come. Also, you can see people in hell. People in hell can project into you here on the earth. I want you to know it. And they can tell you how much they hate you. Because normally that's what they do. Because they know that you are better privileged than they are. That they are not going to be allowed to reincarnate to come back. They know it. So they hate. That's why hell is a place for hatred-oriented people. People who are really very bitter. Because they know that you are going to heaven and they themselves, their own is finished. So they don't like you. So if you happen to be given opportunity to zoom into hell or to be carried there so that you can see and come back here, you won't like the experience. It's a very sad place. You won't like it. But also, there is a side of hell that for those who were ignorant of hell while they were living on the earth, no matter what you tell them, they don't want to listen. They practice other religions and do dirty works on the earth. Dark work of darkness on the earth. But they serve Lucifer very well. Lucifer do reward them, and let me tell you how he rewards them. When they die on the earth, they will see some strange figures coming for them, calling them by name and say, follow, and they follow. Because those are the devils that they have served while they were on the earth. They serve those devils. And those devils are looking like kings and queens. They are well dressed. Everybody, all the demons that they are going to send to that occasion, oh, it looks like a club, a party. They will have a big celebration for you, and you will be so happy. And you will think that you are in heaven. The next morning is when they introduce you to where you are going. The next morning, you will see the same people that you saw last night. All of them are with horns and hooves and all kind of creatures that you've never seen before. And you will say, I thought that I was in the right place. Maybe I'm dreaming, but they tell you, no, you are not dreaming. We've finished your party. We've paid you. We've rewarded you. We've celebrated you. Because they have to for all the job you did for us on earth. But now, we want to show you your home. And that is when they take you into the real place so that you begin to see how life is down there. And you cannot argue. And they will tell you that you should have known better. And that is just the way it is. So not everywhere that looks like heaven is heaven. Next morning, they might just clear up everything that looks like heaven and you will see that it is hell. All right, this is Bishop Idikai Mary. Tonight was just to let you know the difference between reincarnation, incarnation, and karma. And now let me tell you something. The Bible says that we should not be ignorant of the devices of the enemy. My concentration here is not teaching you those things. It's not telling you those things. It's to make you to be aware of those things so that you can better be a good Christian. Tonight, I want to pray for people who are easily deceived. Father, release them from the spirit of deception. Also, people who practice intellectual curiosity into other religions that are falsehood, Lord, I ask that you deliver them. I ask you, Father, to fill us with your Holy Ghost and help us to discover more and more about our destiny so that we can walk in power.
Yes.
Now, tomorrow night, I am going to be interpreting dreams for my partners. So please, if you have a dream, if you know of people who have dreams, bring them. Next thing I'll be doing, if you know of people who are possessed by evil spirits, bring them. And if you know of anyone who has been possessed by the spirit of sickness, bring them. That's tomorrow night. And also, if you are my partner and you need a prophecy concerning your life, you didn't receive one last week, you let me know. What I mean by partner, those who are my members, partners, or my covenant partners. This is Idikai Mary. Go to idikaimary.com if you want to make contact with us. idikaimary.com. Also, remember to go and plant your seed. Good night. Mm-hmm.